Luke chapter 7. Epede epleurosen pantata remata autu esta sakoas tu lau. After, when now, he filled all his words into the hearing of the people. Eselten es Capernaum. He entered into Capernaum. Hekatontarku detinos tullos kakos ekon ömellen teleutan hos nautoi entimos. The of a certain centurion, and of a certain centurion a servant was about to be dying, who was to him honored, dear, precious. Accusas de peritu Jesu apestelen prosauton presbyterus ton Jehudaion. And having heard concerning Yeshua, he sent to him elders of the Yehudim. Roton auton hopos elton diasoseyeton dulon autu. He is asking him how that having come, he might preserve his servant, save his servant. Hoide paragenomenoi, hoide paragenomenoi proston Jeshun, roton auton, spudaios, legontes hoti axiosestin, hoi parexeia tuto. And they come having come along to Yeshua, were asking him speedily, earnestly, saying that he is worthy to whom this thing thou would afford, thou shalt afford, thou shalt do. Agapai garto ethnos hermon, for he is loving our nation. Gaitern synagogue nautos, oikodomers and hermin. Even the synagogue he built for us. Hode Jesús eporeueto synautois. And Yeshua was going with them. Öde de autu, makran apekontos tön oikias, epemsen pilus ho hekatontarkes legon, kyrie, möskyllu. And Yeshua was going with them, and already of him not far being away of the house, the centurion sent friends, saying, Lord, be not being troubled, ugar hikanosemi, for I am not worthy. Hina hypotern stegen mu eselteis, that under my roof thou shouldst enter. Dio ude emauton exiosa prosse elten. Wherefore neither myself I regarded as worthy to thee to come. Alla epilogoi. But say thou a word, gai ia to hopaismu, and my servant lad shall be healed. And my servant lad heal thou. And let my servant lad be healed. Gai gar ego anthroposemi hypo exousian tasomenos. For I also am a man under authority, being set, being placed. Ekon hypemauton stratiotas, having under myself soldiers. Gailego tutoi, and I am saying to this one, poreuterti, go thou, gai poreuetai, and he is going. Gaialloi, and to another, erku, be thou coming. Gai erketai, and he is coming. Gai toi duloi mu, and to my servant, boyeson tuto, effectuate this. Gai boye, and he is effectuating. Acusas te tauta ho Jesus et taumasen auton. And Yeshua, having heard these things, marveled at him. Gai strapes toi akolutunti autoia okloia epen. And having turned to the crowd following him, he said, Lego humin, I am saying to you, ude entoi Israel tosauten pistin heuron. Neither in Israel such faith have I found. Kai hypostrepsantes estonoikon hoipempsantes heuron ton tuulon hygiainonta. And the ones sent, having returned into the house, found the servant healthy, being healthy. Kai egeneto entoi hexers eporeuter espolin galumenen nain. Kai egeneto entoi hexers eporeuter espolin galumenen nain. And it happened in the succession, he was going into a city being called Nain. Kai syneporeuonto autoi, hoimatertai autu hikanoi, kai oklos polus. And his disciples, a considerable amount, and a great crowd, were going with him. Hoste ungisen toi pylöi tös poleos. And as he approached to the gate of the city, kai idu exekomidzeto detsnerkos monogenes huios toi mertri autu. And behold, they were carrying out one having died, the only son, or one-of-a-kind son, to his mother. Gai outer kera, and she was a widow. Gai oklos spoleos, hikanos synauter, and a crowd of the city, a considerable crowd, was with her. Gai ido nauten, hokurios esplanknister epauten, gai epenautei merklaie. And having seen her, the Lord had compassion upon her, and said to her, Don't be thou crying. Gai proselton herbsato tes soru, And having approached, he touched the bier. Hoide bastadzontes estersan, and those carrying stood. Kai epen, neaniske, soilego, egereterti. And he said, Youth, to thee I am saying, arise thou. Kai anekatisen, honekros kai erksato lalen. And the dead ones sat up and began to be speaking. Kai edo kenauton tei mertriautu. And he gave him to his mother. Elaben de pobos hapantas. And fear took all. Kai edoxadzon ton theon legontes. Hoti propertus megas. Ergerter en hermin. And fear took all, and they glorified the gods, saying that a great prophet hath arisen among us. Kai hoti episkepsato hoteos ton laonautu. And that the God hath visited his people. Kai exerten hologos hutos en holöje töje Jehudaia periautu kai pasöje töje perikoroje. And this word went out in all Jehudaia concerning him and to all the region round about. Kai apöngelan Joanne hoimater taiautu peripanton tuton. And they reported to Yohanan, his disciples reported to Yohanan concerning all of this, all these things. Kai proskalesamenos tuotinas ton mater ton autu. And having called to him a certain two of his disciples, Hoioannes epemsen proston gyrion legon. Yohanan sent to the Lord, saying, Sue ho erkomenos allon prostokomen. Thou art being the one coming, or another should we be expecting? Paragenomenoi de prosauton, hoiandres epan, and having come by to him, the men said, Johannes ho baptistus, apestelken hermas prosse legon, sue ho erkomenos allon prostokomen. Johanan the baptizer hath sent us to thee, saying, Thou art the one coming, or another should we expect? Enekenei tei horai eterapeusen pollu saponoson, kai mastigon, kai pneumaton poneuron, kai duplois, pollois, ekarisato plepen. And in that hour he healed many from sicknesses and scourges and evil spirits, and to many blind he granted to be seeing. Kai apokrite sepen autois, and having answered he said to them, Poreutentes apangelate Johanne ha edete kai erkusate. Having gone, report to Johanan what things ye saw and ye heard. Hoti duploi aneblepusin. That blind ones are recovering sight. Koloi peripatusin. Lame ones are walking about. Leproi katarizonte. Leprous ones are being cleansed. Korpoi akuusin. Deaf ones are hearing. Necroi egerontai. Dead ones are being raised. Ptokoi euangelizontoi. Poor ones are being evangelized, or the announcement is being announced to the poor. Kai makarios estin hosean mer scandalistei enemoi, and blessed is whoever should be not being stumbled, not having been stumbled by me. Abeltonton, deton angelon, Johannu örksato legen prostu soklus peri Johannu. And of the messengers having departed, of the messengers of Yohanan having departed, he began to be saying to the crowds concerning Yohanan, Die excellutate est neremon teasastai. Who or what? Ye have gone out into the wilderness to be seeing. Galamon, hypo anemu saleuomenon. A reed by the wind being shaken? Allati excellutate iden. But what what have ye gone out to be seeing? What have ye gone out to see? Anthropon en malakois himatiois piesmenon. A human in soft clothing, having been clothed. Idu hoien himatismoi en doxoi kai trupöje. Hyparkontes en tois basileois esin. Behold, those in and glorious clothes and soft, luxurious clothes, those being in glorious and soft clothing are in the royals. Allati excellutate iden. But what have ye gone out to see? Properton, a prophet. Nay, yes. Lego humin, I am saying to you. Kai perisoteron propertu, and more than a prophet. Hu tosestin peri hu gegraptai. This is the one concerning whom it hath been written. Idu apostello ton angelonmu proprosopusu. Behold, I am sending my messenger before thy face. Hoskataskeu seten hodonsu embrostensu, who shall prepare thy way before thee. Lego humin medzon en genetois gynaikon, propertus Johannu udesestin. I am saying to you, greater among those born of women, a prophet of Yohanan, there is not a greater prophet. Hode mikroteros entei basileai tu teu medzon au tu estin. But the ones littler in the kingdom of the God is greater than him. Kai pas holaos acusas, kai hoitelonai edikaiosan ton theon, baptistentes to baptisma Johannu, and all the people having heard, and also the tax collectors, justified the God having been baptized with the baptism of Yohanan. Hoide parisaioi, kai hoi nomikoi tön buulön tu teu tetersan es heautus. But the parishim and the lawyers, the council of the God, they rejected for themselves. Me baptistentes hypautu, not having been baptized by him. Tini un homoioso tus anthropus tes geneas tautes. To what, therefore, I will liken the men of this generation, kai tini esin homoioi, and to what are they like? Homoioi esin paidiois, tois en agorai, ka termenois kai prosponusin allelois, legontes, samen hymin kai ukorkösaste, samen kai ukeklausate. They are like children, those in the marketplace, sitting and calling to one another, saying, "We piped for you, and you didn't dance. We mourned, and you didn't cry." Luten gar Johannes Hobaptistus me estion arton me de tinon oinon, kai legete daimonion eke. For Johannes the Baptist, having come, he came, not eating bread, neither drinking wine, and they are saying, "He is having a demon." Luten ho hyos tu anthropu estion kai pinon, kai legete idu anthropos pagos kai oinopotes pilos telonon kai hamaratolon. But the Son of the Man hath come, eating and drinking, and they are saying, "Behold a man, an eater, a glutton, and a winebibber, or a wino, a friend of tax collectors and sinners." Kai edikaiot her sophia apoton teknon naute spanton. But the wisdom was justified from all her children. Rota detisauton, ton parisaion, hina pagai metautu. And a certain of the Parishim was asking him so that he might eat with him. Kai esel ton eston oikon tu parisaiu ke kateklita. And into the house of the Parishim, having entered, he reclined. Kai idu gyne hertis entei pole hamaratolos, and behold a woman who was being a sinner in the city. Kai epignusa hoti kateke tai entei oikiai tu parisaiu. And having known that he was reclining in the house of the Parishi, Gomisasa, having got alabastron muru, an alabaster of myrrh. Kai stasa opiso para tus podas autu glaiusa, and having stood behind about his feet, crying, Tois takrysin örksato preken tus podas autu. With the tears, she began to rain, to be raining, moistening his feet. Gaitais trixin ters ke paleur sauters exemaxen, and with the hair of her head she wiped. Gai kate pile tus podas autu, and she was kissing his feet. Gai erlepen tei muroi, and she was anointing with the myrrh. Idon de ho parisaioi ho kalesa sauton epen en heautoi legon. And having beheld the Parishi, the one having invited him, said in himself, saying, Hutos e ern propertus. If this one were being a prophet, epignosken an tiskai potapö högynö hötis haptetai autu, hoti hamar tolosestin. He would have known, he would be knowing what sort of a woman which is touching him, that she is a sinner. Kai apokrites ho Jesus epen prosauton, and having responded, Yeshua said to him, Shimon, eko soitil epen. Shimon, I am having something to say to thee. Hode didaskale, and he, teacher, epe, person. Speak thou, he is saying. Duo kreopeletai ösan danistöj dini. 2 debtors there were to a certain lender. Hohes opelen denaria pentakosia. The one is owing 500 denaria. Hode heteros pentekonta, and the other 50. Me ekonton auton. Apodunai ampoterois ekaristato. And of them not having to repay, not having anything to repay, he graced both of them. He graced toward both. Disun auton pleon agapese auton. Who therefore of them shall be loving him more? Apokrites Shimon epen. And Shimon, having responded, said, Hupolambano hoti hoi to pleon ekarisato. I am understanding that to the one which he graced more, the more, hode epen autoi ortos ekrinas. And he said to him, rightly thou judged. Kai strapes prostern gynaika toi Simeoni eper. And having turned to the woman, to Shimon he was saying, Blepes dauter stern gynaika. Be thou seeing this woman. Esel tonsu estern noikian. I came into thy house. Hu dormu epi tus podas ou kedokas. Water upon my feet thou didst not give, thou gavest not. Hauter de tois takrusin ebrexenmu tus podas, kai tais trixin auters exemaxen. But she, with her tears, she rained my feet, she wet my feet, and with her hair she wiped. Pile mamoi ukedokas. A kiss to me thou gavest not. Hauter de apers eselton udielepen. Katapilu samu tus podas. But she, from when I entered, hath not had a break, kissing my feet much. Elioje tön kepalönmu ukelepsas. With oil my head thou didst not anoint, thou anointedst not. Hauter de muroje elepsen. But she, with ointment, anointed mu tus podas, of me the feet, my feet. Hu karin, of which, therefore, legosoi, I am saying to thee, apeontai auters hai hamaratiai, hai pollai. Her sins, her many sins, the many sins of her are forgiven, have been forgiven. Hoti ergapersen polu, that she loved much. Hoi de oligon apietai, oligon agapai. But to the one who is forgiven, to the one being forgiven a little he is loving. Epen de autei, apeon taisu hai hamaratiai. And he said to her, thy sins are forgiven, have been forgiven. Kai erksanto hoisunana ke menoi legen en heautois. And those reclining together began to be saying in themselves, Dis hu tosestin hoskai hamaratias apiersin. Who is this who also is forgiving sins? Epen de prostern gunaika, herpistis su seso kense, poreu e serenen. And he said to the woman, Thy faith hath saved thee. Be thou going in peace.